I saw this. Okay, this for some context for Linus Tech Tip. Yeah, their channel. Like the other day, it was weird because for some reason I woke up one day, like the other day, and I checked my subscription feed, and who do I see live? Fucking Elon Musk Tesla bullshit. And I'm like, what? I'm not subscribed to any of that bullshit. What is this about? What? And then I click on it. And it shows Linus Tech Tips videos beneath it, and I'm like, wait, this is their channel, and apparently they got hacked. So we're gonna see like the adventure through that. Like I guess they're gonna like explain it, but it's wild because they have like they're like big. They're like a whole fucking tech company. So fucking Elon Musk
This
ruining everything.
is me racing out of bed for
oh my god, he butt naked
to my life's work vanishing before my
well,
eyes. Linus Tech Tips.
Great start.
Deleted. Tech linked. Toasted.
Oh,
Tech
it's more than
Cookie,
just
gone. The good news.
the one channel is
that
other
if
ones.
you're watching this, we're back online. The bad news is that this kind of attack has become so commonplace on YouTube that when we sat down to prepare this video, it took us less than 10 seconds to find a huge channel that was dealing with exactly the same thing in that moment. Let's talk then about the motive for these attacks, the process changes that we and YouTube need to make, and how we can all work together as a community to educate and protect each other from bad actors. Oh, and to tell you about our sponsor, Dbrand. Oh God, not Dbrand. Today, really? No. Actually, no, they've got something good. Stay tuned.
I'm gonna turn it up a little bit.
The fireworks started a little after 3 in the morning when the Linus Tech Tips account was renamed to Tesla and started streaming a podcast style.
Just to clarify, this has happened to me before where like this was like a while ago that apparently Tesla fucking showed up on my subscription feed, but it was the actual like channel or Elon Musk's channel, I don't know, but it was like when I clicked on it, it was just that, and it was like multiple videos, multiple live videos, and I'm like, what the fuck? How? Why? Get the fuck off my screen. This was months ago. For context, Dbrand is a sponsor that likes to skits with him.
Style recording of self-proclaimed techno king Elon Musk discussing cryptocurrency. This in and of itself is not a scam, but the stream's linked to a scam website.
He really thinks he's somebody. He really thinks he's somebody.
They would return double,
Dude can't even handle Twitter.
Transaction records showing other users definitely getting huge payouts. Over the next couple of hours then, we sparred back and forth. First, I privated the streams,
naked. He's
the channel stream
desperate.
key, and attempted to reset the account credentials.
He is desperately trying to fix his shit in the nude.
Investigating the source of the breach, that I had been completely outmaneuvered. They were back in, and the streams were live again.
That's his wife, I believe, because this is at his house.
So I log back in, nuke the stream again, and I go to, and they're up again. And now videos are being mass deleted from the channel.
That's his wife. Kitty in the background.
Over the next couple of hours, playing login whack-a-mole, the Linus Tech Tips, Tech Linked, and Tech Cookie.
Also, I'm sorry for keep pausing, but just for context sake, it's like the reason this is so upsetting for him is because he's like a legit company now. He's got employees, multiple channels, millions and millions of subscribers on each one, millions of views. Like, he's a business now. He's not just a regular everyday YouTuber. Like, it's bad enough if this happens to a regular everyday YouTuber, but someone that has, like, employees to pay, this is, it blows up.
accounts were each used to
Yeah, he
host
started
these
small and made it big.
Elon Musk crypto streams until they were ultimately nuked by YouTube altogether for violating YouTube's terms of service. And I can almost feel your thoughts through the screen right now.
Linus, truly, after all these lectures about two-factor authentication, don't you even protect your own accounts?
Of course I do, but while strong passwords and multi-factor authentication are very powerful security measures that you should use, they're not impenetrable. First up, let's talk 2FA. Not all factors or additional authentication elements are equally secure. The most common second factor, SMS, can be compromised by simple social engineering targeted at your phone carrier.
Well,
Check
that's
out this video
comforting.
that we posted the last time our account was hijacked for more information about that. Another common factor, notification-based multi-factor, is susceptible to fatigue attacks, where a perpetrator will constantly try to log in, hoping that you'll assume, oh, it's probably someone from work, or even just click on the notification by accident. It's very problematic.
That
I'm
would be
looking at you,
fucking
Google,
annoying.
since you can't
Infuriating
disable
even.
this factor on Google accounts. Even time-based two-factor, like Google Authenticator or Authy, can be compromised, say if you were to accidentally set it up or access it from an infected device. In spite of all of these issues with two-factor though, it held the line last night. Our attacker not only never gained access to our additional authentication factors, they never even had our passwords. But how can that be? Well, as it turns out, they didn't need any of that, which is a big part of why it took me so long to clue in and stop the spread.
He was
I
desperate.
was so
Middle of the night,
focused on the
fucking
potential
butt
damage
naked.
that could be done by someone who had commandeered
Trying to
my
save his
SMS
life's work.
messages or gained access to my Google Authenticator somehow, that I expended valuable time battening down the wrong hatches. If I had watched Theo Joe's recent video on the subject, or at least skimmed the comments, I could have probably stopped the bleeding in a matter of minutes. Shout out Theo Joe. But I didn't, so I got to be educated the hard way about a breed of attacks that bypass trivial things like passwords and 2FA entirely by targeting what's known as a session token. Now, many of you will know this already, and if you do, give yourself a cookie. But after you log
That
into
wink.
a website and your credentials have been validated, that site will provide your web browser with a session token. This allows your browser, and by extension you, to stay logged in when you restart your browser and go to access that site again. This isn't a bad thing, it's a good thing, because realistically, nobody wants to type in a password every time they want to post instant regret on the internet. But hold on a second. That cookie is stored locally on your device. How would someone else get it? Well, that's where we made a mistake. Someone on our team, and I'm not saying it was Colton, downloaded what appeared to be a sponsorship offer from a potential partner. It was an innocent enough mistake for the most part. The email came from a legitimate looking source, and it didn't raise any immediate red flags like being full of grammatical errors. So they extracted the contents, launched what appeared to be a PDF containing the terms of the deal, then, presumably when it didn't work, went about the
I
rest
actually
of their
watched
day.
a video about session tokens
What
and
happened
origins
in
of
the
cookies.
background took place
I feel like this is
of
shit I
just
need to learn
30
about.
seconds.
Because with my
The
luck,
malware accessed
my small
all
ass
user data
channels
from both of their installed browsers,
get fucking
Chrome
hacked for no
and
reason.
Edge, including everything from locally saved passwords to cookies to browser preferences, giving them effectively an exact copy of those browsers on the target machine that they could export, including, that's right, session tokens for every logged in website. Now, no one should unzip an email attachment. File extensions should always be double checked when you're executing anything, and any file that doesn't do what you expect should raise immediate red flags. But then, on the flip side, I can hardly blame a sales rep or a video editor or someone in accounting for not being up on the latest in cybercrime. And I also believe that in a healthy organization, actually rolls up the hill rather than down. So there's not going to be any disciplinary actions, because the simple truth is that if we had more rigorous training for our newcomers and better processes for following up notifications from our site-wide anti-malware, this could have been easily avoided. As for why it took so long for us to lock down the account once we knew what was going on, That's another training issue, but this time it was my
Still
training.
butt ass naked.
We use a system for our YouTube channels
Desperate.
called Content Manager, which theoretically improves security by allowing us to dole out specific channel access roles to our
That's
various
when you know
team
it's serious.
members,
He couldn't
rather
even
than
put on
just
some boxer shorts or
sharing the main
anything.
account
He's like,
credentials
he's
with
running
everyone
butt
who
ass
needs to
naked down them
access it.
stairs.
This
Ready to
made
fight.
the process of determining the attack vector way more complicated. You can think of it kind of like replacing your one giant vault door with 20 smaller doors, any one of which realistically still gets you into the vault. Now, in a perfect world, these smaller doors should have been restricted with less access than we configured, but hindsight is 2020, or at least I hope it is. The bottom line is that our disaster response processes need to improve because I realized at 3 whatever in the morning, shout out Steve from Gamers Nexus for the wake up call, by the way, that I actually didn't know how to reset
Session
the
text
passwords
could
and
also
the
tie
access
to web
control
browser
across
wars with
all of these
Netscape
channels in
and
Channel Manager.
Microsoft.
And that is
Jesus.
not the sort of thing that you want to be troubleshooting butt naked in the wee hours of the morning in the middle of a crisis.
He really just said,
In
I
fairness to
roll
me,
out of bed
the way that
and I'm
Google
ready for
handles
battle
the
butt
intermingling
naked.
of all their services is not the most intuitive, and both Yvonne and I experienced numerous glitches and timeouts that prevented us from effectively using these tools, even once we did figure out how to use them. Which leads us nicely then into the next part of our discussion. I've owned what I did wrong, and now it's time to talk about Google. To their credit,
Call
I heard
them
back that
out.
someone was aware
them
and
the
working on it
fuck
at
out.
the highest levels within about half an hour of reaching out to my YouTube rep. And they have seemingly improved their internal tools for managing this sort of thing a lot since the last time around. They've got forms you can fill out, and the partner reps that we've worked with seem to genuinely care. Shout out MC, I'm so sorry this spoiled your spa day. However, this entire process has been pretty opaque. Other than we're aware and working on it, the internal team doesn't seem to even be allowed to communicate with creators directly. I mean, I get it. Security aside, idiot users probably won't have anything to contribute to their investigation. They figured out that the attack came from one of our non-video production teams pretty quickly and then actually banned that Google Workspace account almost immediately. I mean, realistically, idiot users could just slow them down, but even a quick, hey, I know you're stressed, here's what's going on, and here's how we can keep this from spreading, would almost certainly have calmed my nerves and saved all of us some work by keeping TechLinked and TechQuickie in our hands. And another big problem is that this approach, one-on-one, only benefits larger channels like ours. I've seen quite a few people, rightly, express some resentment that we were able to get this resolved so quickly when their favorite niche creator X or Y struggled with it for an extended period of time or even never got it fully resolved. So it's clear that there are some changes that need to be
Yeah,
made.
you know
and
it's going to be a
here are
lot
few of
harder
them
for
in
the
no
smaller
particular
channels, a
order.
lot harder.
We need greater security options for key channel attributes. I mean, how can you change the name of a channel without having to re-enter your password and your two-factor? What about resetting a stream key? Same deal in my opinion. And this is just one of the ways that the impact of a session hijacking can be limited. Rate limiting is also widely used in API access to services like YouTube. For example, Google will only process a certain number of comment moderation actions per day through their API. Well, I could see implementing something similar, even if you are directly accessing the service, but then rather than limit it outright, it could prompt for authentication. To be clear, I'm not saying every time you delete a video, it should ask for your password, but say if you were trying to delete 10 or 100 or 1,000 videos at a time, a little,
Yeah.
are you sure about that? Are you actually you?
Yeah,
would probably
a
be in
little
order.
pop-up that says,
The funny thing is that none of that
Is this
stuff
really
would even
you?
be necessary with proper
Right,
security
is this the
policies
life
on
decision
session
you want to
tokens.
make right now?
Bare minimum would be time-based expiry. You know
It
how
was
when you
about
boot up an old
hacks, but I'll
smartphone,
probably
all
do
your
a thing about
accounts
how
are usually
you could
logged
ignore
out?
small channels
Session
when
expiry.
they're hijacked or wrongfully
But many
reported
sites
spammed.
also
Yeah.
factor in other attributes like
a sad
location.
but true
So
thing.
if you were to suddenly try to access a site or service from Antarctica,
Unless you're literally
you should be prompted to log in
making
again.
millions and
These
got
measures
enough
are
money for
very
them lawyers
common on
and
high-risk
shit,
websites,
and
like
make enough
online
money
banking.
for YouTube to
I'm
care.
not saying banks are model citizens when it comes to login security, but they do usually invalidate sessions in a matter of minutes. But can you remember the last time Instagram or Snapchat asked you to log in again? Social media platforms, YouTube, excuse me, tend to be a lot less aggressive since they want to make using their platforms as frictionless as possible. Now, in fairness, Google does usually require re-authentication when you're changing a password or other security options, or, I don't know, when a session token gets reused by a new IP address on the other side of the freaking planet. But we've heard from multiple people that this isn't always the case. So the big question is that with Google owning the whole
He
chain
put out a
here,
video
like,
the same
start to
content
finish, really,
smaller channel
including
did.
the bloody
They
web
left the
browser,
video up even though smaller
how is this
channels had
crap
the
not
same
only
video
still
insta
possible,
blocked.
but so prevalent?
It's such bullshit.
It's time for them to not just ask these questions internally, but come up with real answers for them. I think the only group whose response here was perfect was our community. And no, this is not like standing on stage, yeah, I love you guys, and what. You guys were amazing. Prominent members of our forum, whom I've interacted with over the years, reached out to my team directly. Upstanding citizens were paying real money out of their own pockets
Oh,
to
damn.
send super chats warning stream viewers that the channel was hijacked, and over 5,000 of you in the last 12 hours alone
Damn.
subscribed to floatplane.com to show your support and to ensure that you wouldn't miss any of our uploads. I have had a pretty rough day. A pretty
I
long
would
day.
say so. It started
But-
with you butt naked, ready for
You know
battle.
what? It's also been amazing to see how fast we can bounce back thanks to your unwavering support, the incredible team we have here. Like everyone. We got Artie over there. Is Colton still there? No? All right, well, whatever. Andrew's
Colton ran
there.
away.
James is working on guidance for this. Luke was up half the night with me and Yvonne trying to help us figure things out, driving to the office. Really appreciate you
Did he
all.
come to the office butt
our
naked?
partners at YouTube.
That's what I need to know, though.
And of course, D-Brand. Something, D-Brand with me a lot, yes. It's true. But the thing about D-Brand is,
What the
as much
fuck?
as they love to poke fun, having partners like them makes losing a full day of YouTube revenue a lot less of a concern. Not a lot of companies are gonna step up and sponsor a video talking about how our account got
Jesus.
hacked. That's the kind of subject nobody wants to get close to at all. But D-Brand jumped at the chance to help us out. And not just help us out by sponsoring the video today, making it so we don't gotta worry about how to pay all these guys their overtime, but help us out by setting you guys up with an unprecedented deal. For the first time ever, D-Brand is offering a site-wide deal for LTT viewers. Just go to, really guys? Shortlinus.com and you will save 15% on any order using code 5foot1. That's one word, all one word, FIVEFOOTOWNE.
I love how
We
he
really
added the
couldn't do it
W.
without all of you. Thanks to you, my team, and
I
yes,
think he's tired.
even D.
He's had enough. Oh my god. I mean, it's good that they got their shit back up, and so quickly too. But it's also fucked up that this keeps happening. Cause the first time I remember seeing this shit happening was literally months ago. Months. Like, it's probably been half a year now. It's... This kind of thing... It needs to be fixed. And soon. No lollygagging on this shit.